Hi guys, it's your girl Gina and this is Gena's Curls. If this is your first time here, welcome. And for my returning subscribers and viewers, I missed you guys. So I'm going to be starting my Natural 101 series, and this is going to be the first of many videos that I'm going to do to basically help you guys start out on your natural hair journey. I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and some tricks and things that really helped me to be able to get my hair to pop, and they're things that I wish I would have known at the very beginning, but once I did learn them, it really helped my hair to thrive. So today's lesson is going to be on the porosity of your hair. And I'm going to break it down for you guys as simple as your hair porosity is your hair's ability to retain moisture. And this is something that all curly girls strive for. We want to make sure that our hair is hydrated and that our curls can come out as defined and as voluminous as possible. And this is done by your porosity test. This is something that you can do to be able to know what your hair porosity is. So your hair's porosity is basically how much moisture your hair takes in and how much it's going to retain. And this is something that is based off of your cuticle and how tightly packed together they are. I'm going to be able to post something for you guys up in the corner. It's either going to be here or over here, showing you guys what this means. But essentially, if you have a closed cuticle, then that means that the water and the moisture is not actually going to be able to penetrate your cuticle, and which this will leave your hair feeling dry. And then at the other end of the spectrum, then you'll have high porosity, which would mean that your cuticles are completely open, and although the moisture is flowing in, then it's flowing right back out, and this will also leave your hair dry and frizzy. And if you're right in the middle, that means that you have a normal porosity, your cuticle is slightly open, and the water can flow in and be able to stay in, and even though some leaves, your hair will still be left with moisture. Now, this is something that can be genetic, that can play a factor into your hair's porosity, but it can also be done by outside factors like manipulation that you've done to your hair. So like for me, I have color in my hair, so that can affect my porosity. Chemical damage, heat damage are all things that can change your porosity. And you can also have different porosities on your hair if you have different textures. So if you have some heat damage that you've caused yourself to have in the front, you could end up having a high porosity in front, but then you might have a normal or a low porosity somewhere else on your head. Now, on to the test on how you can actually determine what your porosity is. There are two different tests that can be done. There is the water test, and then there is the Strand Test. So with the water test, you're going to need a cup of water. Make sure that the water is at room temperature. It can't be hot and it can't be cold. So room temperature water. You're going to take a clean piece of your hair. It should be a shed hair from, after you've showered and you've detangled, clean piece of hair. You're going to put that hair into the water, and you're not going to push it all the way down. You're gently going to place it onto the top, and you're going to see what your hair does. If your hair floats on the top, that means that you're not getting any moisture into your hair, and then that would mean low porosity. If your hair sinks all the way down to the bottom, then your hair would be high porosity because it took in all that water and it sank. And if you have normal porosity, your hair is going to float somewhere in the middle, so it's not going to stay on the top and it's not going to sink all the way to the bottom. Now, the importance of doing this test really determines the type of products that you would want to use for your hair. For somebody that has low porosity hair, like myself, because I do have low porosity, you're not going to be able to use, or you're going to want to stay away from products that are really heavy because they're not going to be able to penetrate your cuticle. So things like heavy oils and heavy creams and just things that are going to just stick on your scalp and not actually penetrate your cuticle are going to be things that you might want to stay away from. Same thing with having high porosity. If you're using an oil that's too thin and it's getting in there, but it's not actually being able to plug up those holes in your cuticle, then a lot of that moisture is still going to escape from your hair. Your hair is still going to feel dry. So these are things to consider when it comes to the products that you're using, and that's why this test is so important. You may not have ever realized, like, oh, this is the reason why certain products are not working for my hair. It's because they just don't work with the basic science of my hair. And this is something that for me was a game changer. They even now have different product lines that have come out that are specifically for different porosity levels, and you can try those out to see if they work for you. Specifically, I tried the Shea Moisture Low Porosity line, and it was a game changer. My hair felt so moisturized, and I finally felt like just after cleansing and doing the conditioner that my hair felt soft. So it's something to consider. You should try it. So the other test that you can do is the Strand Test, and with this one you're going to take another strand of hair, you're going to hold it up, and then you're going to run your fingers up the shaft of the hair, and then you're going to see how it feels. If you feel no bumps or no ridges at all, and it's smooth going up the hair, then that means that you have low porosity because your cuticles are all the way closed. If you go up your shaft and it feels like it's really bumpy along the way, then those are those openings in the cuticle that would come from having high porosity. And then the same would be said about if you were right in the middle. You're gonna have a few, but it shouldn't really stop you along the way as you're trying to feel up the shaft, the hair shaft. So these are all two of the ways that you can figure out your porosity. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Let me know if you guys have tried the porosity test before, or if you're gonna try it. Let me know what your results were. I'm really curious to see. And I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, be sure to give me a big thumbs up. Let's get those likes going so I know that you guys want to know more about this Natural 101. And if you haven't already done so, be sure to hit the subscribe button so that way you'll know when I post any of my other videos, and stay tuned, there's more to come.